Okay, so the season of finale of Metallic Rouge is finally done and over with. Episode 13 left us with a lot of weird questions like, is this truly the end? Is this how everything was supposed to end? Things just kind of happened. So I guess let's just kind of talk a little bit about this. That old man came right out and said that, he's all of the Immortal Nine's father, found out he's not human. He's also a Neon. So, like, is anybody human in this show? Anyway, he explains that he have lived through everything because he was able to transfer his consciousness. He transferred it when he was supposed to have died earlier in the season, like episode 1 kind of material, all the way to into this current body that he's in. And then for whatever reason, he decided to go rogue and turn himself into some puppeteer and do some flashy stuff and make himself seem super important. Super confusing. It's almost, what was the big point in all of this? It's super weird. You just kind of have to forget about that and just remember that he's just kind of a bad guy. I think in the end, what he truly wanted was all Neons to get rid of the Asimov code or something. I'm not too sure. So I'm going to go with that one for now. Anyway, because he's alive, Sylvia wants nothing to do with him because Sylvia wants to have her freedom to herself. She thinks that she has it, but we find out that the old man was, pulling all the strings this entire time. Like, he wrote her entire focus on life. It kind of seems like word for word, he was calling things out. Like, he programmed her very specifically and he called out everything. So he knew how to cut her down. Like, it's really funny when he was making those snippy movements, and all of a sudden all the Nans just couldn't even move anymore. So really went to show how much in control he was to them. Not so much to Rouge, which was also confusing because when the old man went into his guardian form, he also had the red suit, much like Rouge did. So I was almost preparing for a red suit versus red suit kind of a fight. But of course, that never happened. Sylvia destroyed that body. And then the old man transferred his consciousness into Scion. And then he just took over the blue suit. So essentially, what it came down to was blue versus red. And Rouge is getting her butt kicked a little bit because she's got Naomi's id inside her, and Naomi's id is not a fighter type, so she doesn't know how to do everything, which is super freaking weird and annoying that after she fused with herself, all of a sudden now she's really good at fighting, and she has a evolutionary kind of upgrade to her guardian suit. If she wasn't good at fighting before this moment, why is she all of a sudden good? I would have much, much, much rather preferred that Naomi and Rouge's ids like fused together, and then that's what allowed them to get a new suit or fuse their souls or whatever they wanted to have together so that they could be together forever. If that happened, this would have made so much more sense. But it is what it is. I think they were trying to rush through everything. This was a 13 episode series as it was. It's a one episode longer than your traditional 12er. But anyway, let's just forget about that because it's whatever. So in the end, Cyan ends up dying. In order to defeat the old man, they have to stab their hand through Cyan's chest, pull out this heart-like mechanism, and then crush it. And then that's what made the old man go away. If it wasn't obvious enough for you guys to figure out why the old man and Cyan didn't fuse together like Naomi and Rouge did, and it's because Cyan was rejecting him, and she didn't want to be part of this, so there was no true fusion going on. Which I took it. It was okay. That made sense. Anyway, after this little scene, you thought it'd be a little bit more dramatic or sad that they just lost another sister or something. But no, they just kind of go through with it. Rouge places the id into this platform, activating something, and then the circus girl comes on screen, explains that now all the Nans in the universe are now going to be working under the usurpers / the Junoids, and it's going to turn into a war against them versus the Neons, which would have made for a pretty decent season 2 content. But Gene had installed a antivirus kind of thing to stop all this from happening. He saw it coming a mile away, apparently. So all the Neons are safe from becoming bad, but because they almost went bad, their Asimov code also disappeared. So now they're essentially humans that are robotic. So they're like true androids now. They don't have to live by any kind of code or get shut down or anything like that. I mean, they're still going to have to take that juice that they were taking in the beginning of the series, that nectar that they called it in like episode 1 where they had to keep injecting themselves. Anyway, I'm sure that would have been more prevalent if they had a lot more time. But that's kind of the end of the series. The very end of the episode shows Rouge versus that circus girl again. They're having a little fight. I don't know if that's to show that there is a potential season 2 coming out, or if we're just going to assume that that's just going to be the end of the story with them battling it out. I don't know. It leaves you on that kind of a cliffhanger to where there could be a season 2, but at this rate, I'd be a little surprised if there was. So I don't really know. What do you guys think? Do you guys expect a season 2 out of this? Anyway, so yeah, this is the end of the season. This show is pretty good. I would say it's a mid to a little bit more than mid. There was a lot of confusing things, but it was a very chill show to watch. It was nice to just turn your brain off and just watch all the action, the transforming. I always like that transforming action. So yeah, it's good. Anyway, thanks again for keeping up with me all season long. But don't go too far because this current season, I'm going to be covering Re-Monster and Kaiju number 8. Looking forward to those two. And I can tell you right now that Re-Monster was actually pretty good already. So I'm very excited about that series. Anyway, I'll see you guys there and have a good one.